What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again, and in this episode of my Quebec City Nordiques franchise mode here on NHL 17, we begin the Season 8 sim. If we choose to go to Season 10, we are getting towards the latter half of this series, obviously with some solid success, and we are still set up for success in this series moving forward. Of course, these are the lineups we're going with. I was wondering, though, because somebody mentioned, and I'll show you guys this first off, someone mentioned maybe try out Ralph Jarrett as an offensive defenseman due to the 91 offensive awareness, and obviously he has a really good shot, so I'm more than willing to give that a try, just to see how that works. But it's been a while since I've started changing player types. I've gotten back into it a little bit here. Matthew Tkachuk is somebody I was looking at. As a power forward, he's amazing. I mean, in the preseason, you see his point total. But the shooting category, he could totally be a solid sniper. But then again, it might be worth keeping him as the power forward because of what he's done so far and his hitting category. Nolan Patrick was also, as a power forward, not as good. Just not as good as Matthew Tkachuk, especially in terms of aggressiveness. So I switched him over to a sniper. You could also argue playmaker. That's the thing. The guys that are just super talented players in multiple categories, you could do any type of player type. So let me know. We'll run Nolan Patrick as a sniper. Let me know. Should I put him back to power forward? Maybe even put him at playmaker or keep him at sniper. Obviously, we'll see how he does. Line A, still a playmaker. You could argue sniper if you really wanted to. Pete Gerby, we've actually moved over to left wing. He was a right wing. We were playing him on the left anyway. Two-way forward. You could argue sniper. You could argue playmaker. Isaac Lutzer. We switched him to a playmaker before and then back to two-way. Now he's back at playmaker. We're going to see what he can do with that 96 passing rating. But obviously the fallback is to put him as a two-way. Puljujarvi, probably good as a playmaker. Alvin Dahlman, probably good as a sniper. Velarde, good as a sniper. J.C. Donovan, good as a playmaker. Vitaly Abramov, we actually switched to a two-way just because that's the way he plays. He has a great shot. He just doesn't put up point totals. The center, Passy Hall, good as a playmaker. And then Michel Lamoureux is in the lineup. Lamoureux. I'm not sure which one. Somebody told me which one it is, but it wasn't too helpful. Lamoureux. I'm going to call them both until I finally stop being lazy and check how to properly pronunciate it so that people, mainly Quebec viewers, don't get pissed off at me. If there are any viewers from Quebec, which would be weird. I don't know why. Anyway, he is in. Kevin Stenlund is down in Cleveland and is the captain and is our first call-up in case somebody really starts to screw up. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get in to this sim and see what this team is going to be here. Because like I said, I could easily see us just dominating teams again, or we could be absolutely terrible if enough players underperform. Anything can happen in the sim engine. I want to try and do this first month live, but if we get a roster edit, like an injury or a pop-up, anything aside from scouting, I'll probably just make the jump cut there. And there is scouting as I projected. Oh, let's go WHL defense for 3 weeks. Why the hell not? I'm going to try and focus on the North American side of things for this draft. We get the win against the Anaheim Ducks. Can we beat Toronto, please? Please, pretty please. Nope. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was awful. Lost 5-1 to the Leafs, 4-1, and Nelson Nogier is available. Not looking like somebody we're going to want to take. I haven't gotten too many waiver offers throughout this entire series, and yeah, we are definitely not taking him. And we lost to Minnesota as well, 2-1. Beginning of this season. Not ideal. We lose to Arizona as well. Holy shit, that is not the ideal start. That is exactly what I was talking about, though, is that anything could happen. We are not in the basement of our division. There's 8 teams in this division, I believe. 7? Or are we in the bottom? I never remember how many teams are in the fucking Metro offhand. What is the issue? Top line is still doing very well, which is good, specifically Tkachuk. Wow. Okay, well, we have our answer. That second line is dreadful. Third line's not much better. Fourth line isn't much better. That first line is the only thing keeping us afloat right now. pretty much everybody is struggling. That is not good. Only a .902 save percentage for Joonas Korpisalo. So let's make an early change here. Jesus Christ, what do we do here? You know what? I'm gonna try something crazy here. We're gonna put Ralph Jarrett with Seth Jones, and we'll drop Chikrin down with Girardi. And then from here, Jesus Christ, do I put Lutzer back as a two-way? Like, what do we do here? Let's put Dahlman up there, and Lamoureux and Donovan swap them out. And that is what I was afraid of. I knew there was a realistic chance of that happening with how inexperienced of a bottom six that we have. Let's see if Ty Edmonds can get us the win in his first start of the season against the Hawks, who are off to a pretty good start. We got a 5-3 win, so if Korpisalo drops this game, we will probably roll with Edmonds for a bit. Like I said, I'm not gonna do this entirely live. Once we get to the end of the month, we'll take a look at things, check out the roster again, and then get back into the sim. It's just a better way to handle it, and we can make a lot more progress. And that way I don't have to talk for 20 minutes straight and edit the rosters every 5 seconds. Well, let's see here. We will sim to November 1st. Can we get a win, please, against Ottawa? Okay, we do. Jesus Christ. I was worried because if we didn't get the win there, we would have gone the entire opening month without a back-to-back win, which would have been rough. But 4-3-1 through our first 8 games, and we have a pretty busy month of November, a back-to-back. So Edmonds will get at least 2 games, 3 games. So Edmonds will get at least 3 games, maybe more, if Korpisalo really continues to struggle here. And for the moment, because we've won 2 straight games, I'm going to keep the lineups the same. So let's get into the sim. We will go through the entire month of November and hope that this team can turn it around. If not, you'll be hearing from me a little bit sooner, which wouldn't be good. I'd like this team to turn it around. 14-6-3. A pretty solid month for us, really. Although we're not the ass kickers we were last year, the nearly unbeatable ass kickers that we were last year, we are still in first place in our division through the first 23 games of this new season, barely above New Jersey. These other teams are probably quite happy that they actually might have a chance so far this year. I should say, too, the player type experiment has ended for Isaac Lutzer. He is back to a 2-way forward. Other than that, though, I think, we kept Nolan Patrick at sniper, and we still have Ralph Jarrett as an offensive defenseman. 13 points in 23 games is not too bad for him. J.C. Donovan has 6, and he also went up in overall points, so we will put him back on the third line. And that's pretty much it. Let's just keep going. I don't want to look at player stats yet. We'll save that for the end of the episode here. So I think we will sim through the entire month of December, and the All-Star game is all the way here on January 28th. No, not January 21st. January 28th. So, what do we want to do here? Let's sim to the end of December. We'll sim the entire month of December and take it from there. I'm not sure. I might call it quits at the end of that month, or we might go to the All-Star break. I'm not sure. Depends on how the team is doing, really. Now, you might not be surprised, because this isn't exactly the first time I've done this. I went ahead and simmed to the All-Star break. We have a 32, 13, and 5 record. The Monsters are 23, 10, and 9. I went ahead because we were on a good roll, and I wanted that to continue. Start of December, we win 3 straight games. We lost to St. Louis, but then crushed them 6-0 in the rematch on their home ice. Trade some wins and losses here and there. Beat Pittsburgh, shut them out 2 games in a row. Beat Philly 9-1 and 5-1. So some pretty damn big wins there over division rivals. Trade wins and losses pretty much for the rest of the month until our last 3 games. 2 wins over division rivals and a 4-0 shutout win over the LA Kings. Things are looking good. I said that we weren't the unbeatable ass kickers that we were last year, which is true, but we are also winning the division by 15 points right now. And Cleveland, hot on the tail of the Iowa Wild, 55 points, but somehow not in first. Kind of weird how those standings are playing out. Obviously, it's due to games played, you would have to think, but regardless, that's kind of weird. But overall, things are going very well. We've only had one major lineup change. We haven't had to deal with too many injuries. I called up Kevin Stenlund for Lamoureux, whatever, because he just wasn't doing that well. Not to say Stenlund's doing the best either, but he has shored up that fourth line that was really struggling, particularly Gabriel Vilardi, who I was almost tempted to trade at one point. The defensive pairings are the same as they've always been, Jaspers and Jones, and that in those lineups. But yeah, Stenlund really provided some solidarity there and really helped solidify that fourth line, which was looking like it might have needed to be blown up. But we will quickly take a look at the stats. 52 points in 50 games for Nolan Patrick. A plus 30 on that top line. Not too bad. Lutzer, 33 points in 50 games, which he is on the road to having a new career high. He needs 16 points or 17 points to beat his previous total, and he has 32 games to go. Passy Hall, 16 points in 50 games, bouncing between the third and fourth line, so that's not terrible. But again, it's not looking like he's going to turn in to the player we thought he might have when we passed on him in the draft. Vilardi, 11 points in 50 games. Maybe it's time for him to go. I'm not sure. But maybe we should give someone else a chance on that fourth line this year. I know what he just did for us in the playoffs. Let me know. What do we do with Passy Hall and Vilardi? Even Stenlund, 6 points in 24 games isn't terrible for a fourth liner. But we do have some players down in Cleveland that you'll get a look at in a moment that could potentially replace them. Matthew Tkachuk, 44 points in 50 games, a plus 29. Gerby, 36 points in 50, not bad. Alvin Dahlman, only 13 points this year. I've made sure he's been getting power play time as well. It's just not working. It's nice to have him, but even then, on the third line, you'd think he could do better than 13 points so far this year. Abramov on the fourth line has 11. So very disappointing for Alvin Dahlman. Abramov at 11 isn't terrible. I mean, despite his fantastic wrist shot, or just his shot in general, his career high is 24 points. I mean, yes, we've had him on the fourth line, but you kind of expect better from him. Line A, 49 points, is at plus 26. Puljujarvi with 38 points. J.C. Donovan with 13. And as you can tell, Lamoureux had 3 points in 26 games. So at the very least, Stenlund is on pace to at least double him in points thus far. So really the only question is, what do we do with the bottom six? The defense. Bravo to you. You would get a cookie if I had a cookie to give. Ralph Jarrett is leading this team in points with 31. He did miss a game due to injury time, but 7 goals and 24 assists. He is a plus 16. Chuck Jaspers with 29. Jones missed 4 games, still has 24 points on the year. Chychrun with 18. Savard with 18. And Girardi with 10. Keaton Middleton and Ruslan Zykov got a little bit of playing time. Neither performed particularly well. Then you look at the goaltending, which again has been strong. Joonas Korpisalo, a .939 percentage, a 23-10-2 record through 38 appearances. And Ty Edmonds with 14 appearances to his credit, a .931 record with a .911 save percentage. Overall, pretty solid from this team. We are still in first place, deservingly so. Actually, we'll take a look at Cleveland. In a minute. I do want to get you guys a look at the point totals thus far, the stat totals thus far. Goaltending, I imagine Korpisalo. Oh yeah, by far. Korpisalo has the best save percentage in the league, beating John Gibson. I mean, that doesn't seem like much, 934 to 939, but in goaltending, that's not too bad. That is not too bad. He has had less shot attempts against, though. But Joonas Korpisalo doing well so far. Rookie skaters, I imagine we have some people in the fight. Maxime Comtois, I believe. Someone who, again, is highly, just hasn't grown, and will hopefully with the new rosters actually turn into something. Brandon Perlini should not be a rookie at 27. That's disgraceful, and I'm going to stop looking at that before it gets aggravating. Erik Karlsson leads the league in points by defenseman. Good for him, and good for Vancouver. He has 22 more points than Ralph Jarrett, and we will take a look. Connor Garland, 51 points. God damn. Let's take a look at the forwards in general, though. Nolan Patrick currently leads the league. Not too bad. Line A, of course, up there as well. But let's quickly take a look at the Cleveland Monsters, just so you guys know who we already have in the fold. You look at center, Stenlund had 21 points in 21 games. That's why we called him up. Tuomas Kallio has 21 points in 42 games. He was a free agent signing. It's not looking like he's going to be an impact player, but he's still good to have in Cleveland. Justin Fair is only a 76. Tiny Walton is 73, so he wouldn't be like a call-up factor. And Brock Keeler's been injured for most of the season. Left wings, Ryan Peters, 82 overall, 42 points in 42 games. Someone who we could definitely look at calling up if we were to get rid of somebody on the fourth line. Same with Donald McIntosh. I know he's only a 79, but 40 points in 42 games is not too bad for the free agent signing. Evan Tambellini is still there in 81. He has 27 points on the year. Patrick Larmore a bit further down, as is Miroslav Chari. Look at the right wings. Daniel T-Ball, only a 74, so probably not. Lamoureux, 17 points in 21 games. Doing much better in the AHL, and then Jesus Dunham with 10 points in 41 games. So when you talk about the most likely call-ups, Ryan Peters is right there. Maybe even McIntosh or Evan Tambellini based on his overall. The defense, Craig Lowry still an 80, not having a bad year. Zykov a 79. Niedermeyer up to a 78. Smolnak at an 80. Keaton Middleton still at an 80. And then Ritu is up to a 78 as well. So the number one overall pick from the 2020 draft, looking like it's going to take a little bit more time for him to make the NHL lineup, is the word I'm looking for. But he may make it. Eventually, Anders Nielsen's been great for them, a .923 save percentage, and Billy Husso has made 2 appearances and has yet to be scored on. So Cleveland looking better. The NHL team's looking good, aside from a little bit of a shaky bottom 6. But like I said, now is the time. Let me know what we should do, if anything, to those teams. I mean, we could change things up in the AHL, get rid of some players who maybe you guys think just aren't worth the time anymore, and we should get some of the prospects in there. Same on the NHL level. Let me know what we should do. But we are the best team in the NHL at the All-Star break, and we will find out if that can continue in the next episode when we finish up Season 8. Looking like we are once again going to be a playoff team, but you never know. We'll see what happens. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, leave your feedback down below. Let me know what we should do. And as always, feel free to support the video by any way you deem necessary. And I will see you guys in the next one, where we finish up Season 8 and hopefully begin another chance. How do I want to word this? We might win another cup this year. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.